At my sister's engagement party, I was publicly shamed for my education. No one knew my secret. My sister always knew how to make a room listen. That night at her engagement party, she made sure the room listened to me, for all the wrong reasons. The ballroom glittered with crystal chandeliers and soft gold lights, the kind of place where every laugh sounded rehearsed and every smile came with a price tag. Champagne flowed like water. Men in tailored suits stood beside women in designer dresses, all of them polished, educated, important. And then there was me. I stood near the edge of the room in a simple navy blue dress I'd bought on sale, my hands wrapped around a glass of water. I hadn't even touched the champagne. I already felt dizzy enough just being there. I didn't belong in this world. At least, that's what my sister had always made me believe. "Everyone," my sister Emily called out, clinking her glass. The music faded. Conversations died mid-sentence. All eyes turned to her. Emily looked radiant, custom ivory dress, diamond earrings, hair perfectly styled. Her fiancé, Jason, stood beside her, one hand proudly resting on her waist. Jason came from money, old money, the kind that sent kids to Ivy League schools before they could spell the word college. Emily beamed. "I just want to thank you all for coming," she said sweetly. "This night means so much to us." Applause filled the room. Then her eyes found me, and her smile sharpened. "I also want to thank my little sister for being here tonight," she continued. "Even though, well, she didn't exactly have anywhere else to be." A few awkward chuckles floated around. My stomach tightened. "She's always been free-spirited," Emily said, tilting her head. "You know, not really into education or careers, just finished high school and decided that was enough." Laughter this time, louder. I felt heat crawl up my neck. "She's been kind of a freeloader," Emily added lightly, "living life day by day while the rest of us worked hard." The word hit me like a slap. Freeloader. Someone laughed near the back. Someone else whispered. I felt every eye in the room slide over me, measuring, judging. I wanted the floor to open up and swallow me whole. Emily raised her glass. "But family is family, right?" More laughter, more clinking glasses. I stood frozen, my fingers numb around the glass. I could hear my own heartbeat pounding in my ears. I wanted to scream. I wanted to cry. I wanted to run. But I didn't, because no one in that room knew the truth. Growing up, Emily had always been the golden child. Straight A's, debate team, student council, college acceptance letters framed on the wall. And me. I was the quiet one, the one who didn't raise her hand, the one who worked after school instead of joining clubs. When I graduated high school, everyone assumed I had failed at life. "What are you going to do now?" relatives asked. I smiled and said, "I'm figuring it out." Emily rolled her eyes and said, "She's just lazy." No one knew that the week after graduation, I'd signed a non-disclosure agreement. No one knew that I'd walked into a downtown office building with borrowed heels and walked out with a contract that would change my life. I hadn't gone to college, but I'd gone somewhere else. Somewhere very few people ever got invited. After Emily's speech, people avoided me. I became invisible again, only now it hurt worse because I could feel their pity, their superiority. Jason's mother glanced at me once, lips tight, clearly filing me away as the embarrassing sister. I excused myself and stepped outside onto the balcony. The night air was cool, sharp. I leaned against the railing, breathing deeply. "You okay?" I turned. Jason stood there, holding 2 glasses of champagne. "I'm fine," I said. He didn't look convinced. "She didn't mean anything by it," he said weakly. I almost laughed. "It's her engagement party," I replied. "She meant exactly what she said." Jason hesitated. "Emily told us you're not really working right now." I met his eyes. "No," I said calmly, "I'm working." He frowned. "Doing what?" I smiled slightly. "Things she doesn't talk about." Before he could ask more, Emily appeared at the balcony doors. "There you are," she said. "I was wondering where you disappeared to." Her eyes flicked to Jason, then back to me. "Don't take it personally," she whispered, her voice sharp. "You know how things are, appearances matter." I straightened. "They do," I agreed. Emily smirked. "Maybe someday you'll understand, when you grow up." She walked away. I watched her go, my reflection staring back at me in the glass doors. Soon I thought, "You're right about that." 3 weeks later, Emily called me in a panic. "I need your help," she said, voice shaking. I sat in my office chair, staring out over the city skyline from the 34th floor. "What kind of help?" I asked. Jason's family business, a real estate investment firm, was in trouble. Big trouble. A silent partner had pulled out. Funding was frozen. Deals were collapsing. "They might cancel the wedding," Emily whispered. I leaned back slowly. "I might be able to help," I said. There was a pause. "You," she scoffed. "How?" "I know people." Emily laughed nervously. "You don't even have a degree." "No," I said. "I have something better." Silence. "Meet me tomorrow," I added. "Same place as the engagement party." The ballroom looked different during the day. Empty, quiet, honest. Emily arrived first, packing. Jason followed, looking exhausted. Then the doors opened. Men and women in tailored suits entered, confident, focused. They greeted me first. "Ms. Carter," one said, shaking my hand respectfully. "Good to see you again." Emily froze. Jason stared. "What's going on?" Emily whispered. I stepped forward. "These are my partners," I said calmly, "from the firm that owns 40% of your future development project." Emily's face drained of color. "I dropped out of the system," I continued. "Not out of ambition. I built something quietly, strategically." I turned to Jason. "The deal your family needs," I said. "It's been sitting on my desk." Emily's voice trembled. You're serious." I met her eyes. "I finished high school," I said. "Then I built an empire." The wedding went on. But things changed. Emily never mocked me again. At the reception, she raised her glass one last time. "To my sister," she said carefully, "who taught me that success doesn't always look the way we expect." I smiled. She finally understood. And this time, the room listened for the right reason. After the meeting in the ballroom, nothing was the same. Emily stopped calling me unless she absolutely had to. When she did, her voice was careful, measured, as if one wrong word might cost her everything. Jason, on the other hand, started calling a lot. At first, it was just business. Then it became something else. But before any of that could surface, the truth needed to finish what it started. Jason's family company didn't just need my firm. They depended on it. The deal I mentioned, the one sitting quietly on my desk, wasn't just funding. It was leverage. The kind of leverage that decides who stays powerful and who becomes a footnote. Emily didn't know that yet. She still thought this was a temporary embarrassment, a fluke, something she could smile through until the wedding photos were taken and the guests went home. She was wrong. 2 weeks later, Jason's parents invited me to dinner. Not Emily. Just me. The restaurant overlooked the river, all glass and quiet luxury. Jason's mother wore pearls. His father spoke slowly, like a man used to being obeyed. "We owe you an apology," his mother said. I nodded politely. "You don't owe me anything." His father cleared his throat. "We underestimated you." I smiled faintly. Most people do. Jason watched me carefully. There was respect in his eyes now, and something else, curiosity, maybe even regret. "We want to make you an offer," his father said. I already knew what it was. They wanted me officially involved, on paper, in public. They wanted the sister they once ignored to become the silent backbone of their future. "I'll consider it," I said. But there's a condition. They leaned in. I don't do secrets, I continued, and I don't tolerate disrespect. Jason swallowed. His mother nodded slowly. Understood. Emily found out the next day. She came to my apartment unannounced. I opened the door to find her standing there, eyes red, hands shaking. You're doing this on purpose, she accused. I stepped aside and let her in. Sit down, I said calmly. She didn't. You're humiliating me, she said. First the engagement party, then the meeting, now this. I crossed my arms. I didn't humiliate you, Emily. I stopped hiding. Her voice cracked. You could have told me. I met her gaze. You never asked. Silence filled the room. You called me a freeloader, I said quietly. In front of everyone, you made my life a punchline. She looked away. I thought I was better than you, she whispered. I nodded once. I know. That was the moment something in her broke. Not dramatically, not loudly. Just enough to finally let reality in. I'm scared, she admitted. Everything I built, it feels like it's sitting in your hands. I stepped closer. No, I said. It's sitting in yours. I'm just no longer invisible. The wedding day arrived. The venue was breathtaking. White roses, marble floors, live orchestra. Guests filled the seats, whispering about money, connections, futures. Emily looked perfect. But this time, she looked at me differently. Not above me. Beside me. When the officiant asked for witnesses, Jason surprised everyone. I'd like my sister-in-law, he said, gesturing toward me. A ripple moved through the crowd. I stood, calm and composed, and walked forward. Emily met my eyes and nodded. At the reception, Jason's father tapped his glass. I want to acknowledge someone special tonight, he said. The room quieted. My daughter-in-law's sister, he continued, is a remarkable woman, a visionary, a partner. Eyes turned toward me. She didn't take the traditional path, he said, but she built something extraordinary, and our family is stronger because of her. Applause filled the room. Not polite applause. Real applause. Emily raised her glass next. I spent my life believing success had one shape, she said softly. Tonight, I learned I was wrong. She turned to me. I'm proud of you. For the first time, it wasn't forced. It wasn't late. It was honest. Ending the quiet victory. Months later, my name appeared on industry panels. My firm expanded. Deals closed. I never went back to college. I never needed to. Emily and I rebuilt something, not the way it was, but better, truer. And sometimes, at family gatherings, someone would whisper, "That's her, the one they didn't see coming." I'd smile. Because the best revenge wasn't exposure. It wasn't humiliation. It was standing exactly where they said I'd never reach, without ever needing their permission.